Anyone who's ever worked in web development knows this story, right? Designers hand off these beautiful, pixel-perfect mockups. Then, developers spend ages trying to translate that vision into actual working code. But what if you could just skip that whole translation step? What if that line between designing and coding just disappeared? Okay, let's dive into a tool that's trying to do exactly that. Seriously, just think about this for a second. Imagine a designer clicking around on a live website, moving things, changing colors, tweaking fonts, just like they would in Figma. But it's not a mock-up. Every single change they make is editing the actual code in real time. This isn't just about making things a little faster. It's a complete rethink of the entire workflow. And that really gets to the heart of a problem that, let's be honest, has probably driven a lot of us crazy at some point. We call it the design-to-code gap. It's this classic story of two different worlds, design and development, each with their own tools, their own languages, and yeah, often their own ways of seeing things. This slide just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have your static mockups. They're basically a pretty picture of an app, but they're not the app. On the other side, you've got the live application. It's dynamic, it's functional, it is the final product. And all the pain happens in the space between the two. You know, the endless back and forth emails because the padding is off by 2 pixels, or the colors don't quite match, or the animation just doesn't feel like it did in the prototype. So, you've got this huge gap. How do you build a bridge? Well, that's exactly where our subject for today comes into the picture. Let's meet Onlook, an AI-first design tool that's aiming to be that bridge. I think this quote, right from their own page, just nails it. Let's break it down. Visual first tells you it's designed to feel intuitive for creative people. Code editor means it's not a toy. It has the full power of a developer's environment. And maybe most importantly, open source, which means it's built by the community for the community. And they've got this killer tagline, the cursor for designers. Now, if you're familiar with Cursor, the AI code editor for developers, you get this instantly. The idea is for Onlook to be that same kind of smart, helpful partner, but for people who think visually. And it's all built on a super modern tech stack with Next.js and TailwindCSS. All right, so the big picture idea is awesome, but what does it actually let you do? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and see how it takes you all the way from a simple idea to a real working product. First off, just getting a project started is, wow, it's super flexible. You can literally just type a sentence or upload a picture and have AI spin up a whole Next.js app for you. Or, if you're not starting from scratch, you can use templates, pull in your existing Figma files, or even clone an entire project right from a GitHub repo. The goal here is clearly to get you creating as fast as possible. Okay, and this is where it gets really magical, especially for designers. The interface looks and feels a lot like Figma, so you're immediately comfortable. You see a live preview of your app that updates instantly, you can drag and drop new components, manage all your brand colors and fonts, but the whole time you're not just drawing pictures, you are directly editing the underlying code. But wait, this isn't just a one-way street for designers. It's packed with powerful tools for developers, too. You get a full real-time code editor built right in, you can run commands from a terminal, and honestly, my favorite feature has to be this. You can just right-click on any element you see on the screen and instantly jump straight to that exact line of code. It just completely closes that loop between what you see and how it's built. Okay, this all sounds a little bit like magic, right? So how does it actually pull it off? This isn't smoke and mirrors. There's some really clever engineering going on. Let's take a quick peek under the hood to see how it works. All right, let's walk through this. First, your app's code gets loaded into something called a web container. You can just think of it as a tiny little server that runs your code in the browser. That container then serves up your app, and the editor shows you a live preview of it inside an iframe. Now, here's the really clever part. The editor then reads and instruments all of your code. All that means is it creates a detailed map connecting every single visual thing you see, every button, every text block, to its exact spot in the code files. So when you click and drag a button, the tool knows precisely what line of code to change. And finally, the AI chatbot has full access to this same system, so it can make smart, targeted code edits based on what you ask it to do. It's a seamless loop from visual to code and right back. So, okay, we've got this cool tool, the tech makes sense, but what does it all mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, that brings us to what might be Onlook's single most important feature, the fact that it's open source. And believe me, the community is definitely paying attention. As of right now, this project has nearly 24,000 stars on GitHub. That is a huge signal. It shows that developers and designers aren't just curious about this idea, they are actively getting behind it. This isn't some tiny niche project. It's becoming a movement. Now, if you look at this table, the really big deal here is that last row. You've got powerful tools out there like Vercel's V0 or Webflow, but they're proprietary, they're closed systems. Onlook is different. It's a true visual code editor, and its key differentiator is that it's open source. And that means everything. It means transparency, it means anyone can contribute, and crucially, it means no vendor lock-in. You own your code, 100%. You're never trapped if a company changes its pricing or decides to shut down. For developers, that kind of freedom is priceless. And it's really important to mention, this is still very much a living, breathing project. It's under active development, things are changing fast, and the team is looking for people to jump in and help build out this vision. It's a real chance for the community to shape the future of a tool they actually want to use. So all of this leaves us with one final, pretty big question to think about. By giving designers the power of a code editor and developers the visual intuition of a design tool, could this kind of hybrid, AI-first, open-source approach be the actual future of how we all build things for the web? It's a pretty exciting thought to end on.